We're going to try to set up a combination circuit now. We first want to get the measurements for the potential resistance of our 4 coils of wire that we're going to use before we start trying to wire things in combination. So, starting off on coil number 1, we're on a 5 amp scale. That's my voltage and my current. Now, since we're on the 5 amp scale, we're going to use the bottom set of numbers, and each little line is worth 0.1 amps. Switching things off and going to coil 2. Powering back on. Voltage and current for coil 2. Powering back off. Switching to coil 3. With this, we want to be able to figure out the resistance of each coil of wire, knowing the voltage across the coil and the current passing through. So there's the voltage for coil 3 and the current on the 5 amp scale. Switching to coil 4. Power back up. Now this one's low enough. I want to switch to the 1 amp scale for coil 4. So power back on. There's my current, my voltage. And there's the current on the 1 amp scale. So we're using the top row of numbers, and every little line's worth 0.1 amp. Switching things back off. We're going to do a combination circuit with 2 resistors in series, or 2 sets of resistors in series, and those 2 are in parallel with each other. To do that, I'm going to attach the 2 main leads there. Current comes in, goes through coil 1 and then coil 2 and then back out for right now. To get that in a combination circuit, I'm actually going to use 4 coils of wire, and I want to connect from here to here with this jumper wire. Now, the current comes in, goes to this junction and splits. Some of the current will go through coil 1 and coil 2 and then back out. Some of the current will go through coil 4 and then coil 3 and then back out. So these 2 are in series. These 2 are in series, but this segment's in parallel with this segment. Okay? And we're going to set up so that the ammeter measures the total current of the entire circuit. So when I power on, again, I'm on the 1 amp scale. There's my voltage across the battery, and there is my current. Now, to double check, I am going to switch this off and go to the 5 amp scale, just to kind of make sure I wasn't pegging the ammeter with that setup. So I want to turn it back on. Again, I want to show you the voltage, which may or may not have changed, and then the current through this one. Again, it looks like the current is still pretty constant right there. Now I want to switch this off. Now, one thing that we can do is I can bring in another voltmeter and measure the voltage across each resistor. Now, you should be able to calculate what the voltage and the current is for each resistor and the current through each resistor on your own. I can't measure the current for each one, but I can measure some things. So what I'm going to do is I want to measure the voltage for each one. So I'll power this back up, but I want to use the second voltmeter, okay, here, to measure the voltage for each one. So I am going to power this on. Okay. There is my voltage from the battery. That's my current, and we're on the 5 amp scale. And I'm going to use this to measure first the voltage across coil 4. Sorry for my arms in the way. There's the voltage across coil 4. Here's the voltage across coil 3. Voltage across coil 2. And voltage across coil 1. Now, I do want you to notice that the voltage from the battery may be changing. So I'm going to power this back off, because I may have overtaxed my DC power supply. I'm going to make one change in the circuit so I can test the current going through coils 3 and 4. So I'll be right back after this. Okay, to show you what I did with the circuit, I have rearranged things. Now, instead of this going through the ammeter, it's going back to the DC power supply. I've got this wire is going to my ammeter, coming out and then going through coils 3 and 4. And so now the ammeter is measuring the current just going through coils 4 and 3. So when I turn this on, there's my voltage again. And this is my current that's going through coils 3 and 4. Now we're on the 1 amp scale. So you're going to use the top row of numbers, and every little line's worth 0.1. Powering back off. So now you know the voltage across each coil of wire while it's in parallel or in the combination circuit. You know the total current, and you know the current going through coils 3 and 4. How do they compare to what you calculated the voltages and the current should be for each element in that circuit? Talk to you later. Bye.